Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. It's 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, today's video. I'm not doing it. I'm going to do it after this video. I'm all set to do a video. Yesterday, guess what? I masked up again. Yeah. There's Canadian wildfires. If you haven't seen this, it is bizarre. It's been basically sunny. There hasn't been any clouds in the sky the last 3 days. But we haven't seen the sun. Seriously, I'm 57 years old. I've never seen this in my life. It's bizarre. There's hazardous air quality. You could see the particles in the smoke. Everything looks. Yesterday, everything was an orange red. It looks like we're on Mars. It's bizarre here, and there's a hazard. There's an alert. I'm going to do a video about that, but this isn't it. And I wore a KN95 mask yesterday, and yeah, and I had a feeling there'd be some, I'd get some looks, and sure enough, I did. I'm going to talk about that in the next video. So I was getting ready to do that video, and I just got to talk about this. This is basically going to be a rant. I came across the story, and it just started, the more I thought about it, it just started grate on my nerves, and I'm probably going to go off the rails on this, but I got to talk about it. It's about Justin Bieber's father, Jeremy Bieber. I'm assuming this guy is probably around my age, a Generation Xer. And, I don't know, a lot of people that watch my channel, a lot of fans of Bo the Fifth Column, liberal thinking people, progressive thinking people, we don't understand why these people are so self-centered. Why is it always, why don't they understand what's going on? Why don't they get it? What am I talking about? Okay, so I'll have the links down below to this story. Justin Bieber's father tweeted, he put out a few tweets about how families should be celebrated. He was talking about, this is Pride Month. June is Pride Month. February is Black History Month. November is Native American History Month. And each of these groups are groups that have been treated less than admirably throughout U.S. history. Groups that have been marginalized, to say the least. So this is, we'd like to think that we're progressing. We're getting more enlightened, more accepting of, why should I care how other people live? Or in the case of Pride Month, or giving attention to the wrongs in the case of Native American History Month or Black History Month. And it just seems like there's a bunch of basic white conservative guys that just cannot let this be. They just don't get it, because it's not about them. They're so, to me, it just seems like they're so freaking self-centered that when anything happens, it doesn't give praise to them. They can't handle it. They can't accept it. If it doesn't praise that they created America and the world and the earth and everything in it and around it, then, they're upset about it. What am I talking about? Jeremy Bieber. So he puts out a couple tweets, and the links will be down below. I'm going to paraphrase here. He says, families should be celebrated here in America. He says, I can't believe what these generations celebrate. It's not really about celebrating. And then he goes on to say, this is the most offensive part, and these are not my words. He says that the LGBTQ community should thank straight people for their existence. We should just, I was going to say we, because I'm a supporter. I'm a straight guy, but I almost consider myself, I'm a supporter of the LGBTQ community. That they should, get on their knees and give praise that they were given birth to. This is what Jeremy Bieber's father said. And then, of course, he caught a little flack for it. He backed off. And I'm like, what is it that these guys don't get? Why can't they just let things be? Why do they, it has nothing to do with them. If they don't agree with it, if they don't like it, just ignore it. If you go into Target, if you have a Bud Light, whatever, if you don't agree with it, what's so hard about just going on with your life? And why? And then, they don't seem to understand that, this is like the Stonewall. Even being a straight guy, I understand the whole Stonewall incident that happened in New York City. And this is how Pride Month came about. And how generally, if you go back even to the 50s, how gay people were looked at, how it was unaccepted. And this is an attempt to say, to be enlightened, to say that, you're part of America, you're part of the world, and we made a mistake, and I don't understand. And then I'm going to go off the rails here, but they always hide behind the children. It's either about the children or the military. It's the children are going to suffer, or the military. Now I'm going to go off the rails on this one, talking about thanking people for my freedom. Okay, like Will Markham from I did a video about Hempvana, and the Hempvana commercial with Will Markham, Silver Star hero recipient Afghan vet Will Markham. And these are the guys we should thank for our freedom. Now, part of me is almost scared to say this, like I'm saying something wrong. Why should I thank this guy for my freedom? What did this guy do for my freedom? I understand after 9/11, people joined because they were upset. Hell, I was upset. I cried that day. But what came out of that was wrong. The invasion of Iraq had nothing to do with what happened on 9/11. The invasion of Afghanistan, the Afghanistan people had nothing to do with that. Kicking down doors in Afghanistan has nothing to do with, why should I thank a guy for kicking down the doors of families of Afghanistan families? Why should I thank him for my freedom? What did that do for my freedom? It's a lie. It's a complete lie. Unless you are a veteran of World War II, those guys are heroes. I owe them a thank you for my freedom. I'm not trying to rag on the military, the vets. But when you tell me that I should give vets, I should go up to them and say, thank you for my freedom, it's a lie. We're twisting history here. What happened? The invasion of Iraq because of weapons of mass destruction, that was all a freaking lie. What came of that? Nothing good. It didn't make me any freer here in America. The whole thing with Afghanistan. Look, Afghanistan just reverted back once again to the way it was. When we invaded there, the Afghani people said, they kind of laughed. We've invaded hundreds of times throughout history, and it always ends up the same. And it did. So how do I owe an Afghan vet? Why should I thank him for my freedom? What did he do by kicking down the doors and terrorizing Afghan people? That had nothing to do with it. All the 19 hijackers were from Saudi Arabia. So why didn't we attack Saudi Arabia? Then I might consider thanking him. Because of oil. We just ignored it. We just turned our heads. Oh, you guys had nothing to do with it. We'll go attack these guys. Because that's where Osama bin Laden chose to hide. And the Afghani people paid the brunt of it. And I should thank all the powers that be for granting that granted my freedom. What a bunch of bull. And they come up with this every time you talk about Pride Month or Black History Month or Native American History Month. They say, well, what about us, the white guys? What about the vets? What about the children? The vets have plenty of attention. Every day is about the white conservative male family guy. Every day, 4th of July, Labor Day, Memorial Day. Every day is about these guys. And why can't they just, why are they so freaking self-centered that they can't just let Pride Month be? Sorry for the rant. My real video will be up next. Wearing a mask. What happened yesterday and the Canadian wildfires. Have a good Thursday.